What's up, everyone? Welcome back to another volume of Diarrhea of a Madman. Sorry, I the microphone too close to my face and was not expecting my jaw to hit it. Uh, Pause for those kind of jokes. Try not to cuss for as long as I can because I still believe that it's demonetizing me. Anyway, if this is your first time here, welcome. I am a retired dude from the army who just needed something to do. So I created a podcast channel on YouTube and I do other shows as well with my wife. Those are probably a little bit more held together because this is my personal one. Anyway, uh, let's go right into what the fuck is going on. How far am I? Minute 30. Okay, whatever. Uh, So if you're paying attention to social media, Rampage Jackson's son did some. Okay, first of all, his name is Raja. Let's get that out of the way. Yay. Maybe it's a fucking boy named Sue type of situation. I don't know, but whatever. You all right there, dog? Anyway, you're interrupting, but okay, whatever. Um, so what had happened was, and I've seen the videos, the full videos, pre shit and the during and then the afterwards. So apparently he was setting some bullshit up wrestling, low key, whatever. I don't know. Maybe it's big. I don't know. I don't pay attention to wrestling. I just know that it's fucking fake, right? But it still hurts. It's scripted, yeah, to a point. But also, these dudes are still flipping around and, doing all this shit. So I give them that. But so there's like there's some altercation, and he's told, well, we'll script it in. You jump in during a match and whatever. Well, he jumps in, and then he fucking slams the dude. Uh, Clearly, I mean, the guy lets him pick him up. That the scripted part, I guess. But when he slams him, like he knocks him out. Like the slam alone fucking puts the dude out. Uh, and then he starts throwing like MMA because that's what he is. He's a fucking. I don't even know. I guess he's trained. I don't know if he's a professional yet, but he keeps fucking sticking dicks up his ass. Eventually, he will get there, but maybe not this coming out. My full conclusion. Let me just before I get too heated on it is this kid is either an asshole or a fucking idiot. I believe it's a whole lot of both because watch the video. He knows he's supposed to go in there and like do something. He fucking slams the guy. He should realize that he knocks him out, but instead he starts throwing crosses on his fucking jaw, just rocking this guy who's passed out, can't defend himself, or isn't defending himself. And it doesn't click in this boy's head to fucking maybe pull a punch, which I think he does one. Again, either he pulls this punch or he's not very good at throwing punches when somebody's down and knocked out because it comes across kind of skims his uh, jaw. And let me go back to the boy comment. I meant to say that because he's a young dude. The other assholes. But so the funniest thing to me is like I could get a little bit of both. The kid's stupid and he took it too far and then kept going. And then one, the referee does absolutely nothing other than start like doing this shit until some other when they're holding Raja when they're holding him back. I guess he's still putting on a show. I don't know what the fuck he's doing, but someone else in the ring goes over the guy who gets been knocked out, and the ref starts the count and pins this guy. So clearly, there's definitely miscommunication on both sides. I don't know how many times I've been in a fight that usually ended up on the worser side. Uh, but you know when you fucking connect, you know when that person's out. And maybe I would give him a little bit more rope if he was in the. It's different because you're told to keep going until the ref pulls you off, or they take or something like that. But this kid is just smart and he's a fucking asshole. So that combined with miscommunication has caused this problem. Funniest thing is his dad, Quinn Rampage Jackson. I guess he's done blowing all these fucking bitches with all their eight money. But he said like his son had like suffered a concussion a day or so before and shouldn't. He's given him an headache excuse. Like, get the fuck out of here. But, okay, so you're already claiming your son is CTE, much like yourself, and that's not an excuse. I mean, go ask Chris Benoit's fucking family, right? Not a fucking excuse, bro. You know what? So, apparently the dude is awake and recovering. So let's just end it on that for him. Do do do. Next subject. Anyway, welcome to my shit show. I can say that now. If you're still in here with me, this is me fucking blowing off fucking excuse me, steam. Uh that's a bad time to pause. I got two dogs in here with me. You don't know this about me. I love pets. I'm a retired army guy and I have animals. And I hang out with dogs more than I hang out with people. So you could probably see that as you watch more episodes. So moving on. Um Man, I took this. I go to a vape shop. They're fucking everywhere, right? But this dude who gives it to me, he's a younger kid of Middle Eastern. I think he's Middle Eastern. He's a subscriber, so I don't. Sorry, dude. I don't know exactly where you're from, but uh, he hooked me up with this. I say hooked up, but it's it's kind of like kratom. It's called like weed, and I guess is a form of kratom, which I've heard more of. I actually have a bag here with me, but I'll get to that in a second. I tried this fucking pill the other day, and it was I have it written down a 30 milligram. And in his defense, the kid did tell me fucking, take half. But hello, I'm Johnny Deneen, and I'm an addict, and I'm gonna cut a fucking pill. It's like a stamped little. I posted about it, and people are saying it looked like a fucking made me feel like I ate a water battery. I was, and I have look, I've got a liver like a paperweight, but this stuff, and I have a former pill addiction too, but this shit felt like that shit, and then this is over the counter. This felt like heavy Percocet, like probably like it felt like a 20 milligram Percocet if I had to put a label on it, but it was a 30 milligram whatever fucking thing. And I was trying to watch a show that I was really into and was just nodding off, tired. The drug nod off, like, oh, just going. And so, yeah, man, it was not cool at all. I'm more of a I mean, I like the uppers. Who does? But I can't do that painkiller shit. That stuff just. I actually went on Facebook, stoned out of my mind on that shit, like warning my Facebook friends because it's mostly just family now. And like, dude, like if you guys have ever suffered from any type of painkiller addiction, do not try this stuff because you're gonna go back. Yeah, it made me want to go get a Red Bull and start smoking fucking Camels again. That was my brand. Yeah, I smoked for like 20 some, close to 30 years, I want to say. I was able to quit. Yeah, you quit that. I can't quit the booze. No, too much of a staple. I think it was because I told the wife. I think it was because I was a nerd, like a fucking dork growing up, and then booze came into my life, and I think I was at a couple parties, was drunk. People thought I was funny or whatever the fuck, and I think that like cemented in my mind like you're only cool when you're drinking. So now I'm cool every day that I'm retired. Anyway, okay. Speaking of addicts, like don't take advice addicts unless it's about drugs because I've noticed everything is subject to especially art. But it's funny to see people like I don't know where am I going with this? I'm not going anywhere with it. Anyway, the joke is take advice from an addict unless it's about drugs. Otherwise, just shut the fuck up because your mind is like in a different. So my wife like barely likes anything I watch, and then when she does find something that I'm watching that she likes, I have to stop watching it until she can watch it with me. Just what happens in America, guys. Just fucking happen. It's called sacrifice. They do that for her most of the time. Fucked up again because I watched Peacemaker. I watched the first episode of season two. She was into that show with me too. So sorry, hon. I still love you, and I'll watch the episode again with you. You didn't. There's a fucking full on orgy scene and dicks are flying around. So and there's titties and stuff. It's a good time. Uh, I'll watch that episode again with you because not for that scene, but I was caught off guard by it because when the episode first starts, I like to judge. It gives you the TV mature, and it usually says why and for what. And this one just said TV mature for smoking. I was like, okay, here we go. Fucking story mode. It's going to be a recap of last season. They're going to throw in some filler shit because Superman just came out. Peacemaker cameo in that. If you haven't seen that, sorry, spoiler alert. Um, so yeah, and it pretty much was that up until all of a sudden there's fucking dicks and tits, full on bush, like bunches of them in a house, in his house, and fucking they're all partying and fucking. It was like the airplane scene in The Wolf of Wall Street. What mine? Yeah. So fuck, where did I go off? Oh, what I'm watching. I'm also I don't know if it's the same across the pond, but I am into English, like thriller, like detective kind of things. Like their cop shows, like their shows. Um, what comes to mind? Mobland for one on Prime with fucking Tom Hardy, Pierce Brosnan, and that 80-year-old broad. That still I would, even though she's like Helen Mirren. That's her. Um, yeah, that show is fucking awesome. Um, Department Q on Netflix. That was a cool one. I just got done watching this one called The Residence. I don't think it really is. It's set in the White House, but the main character detective is a British detective. But That's I just got done watching that one. That one's really good. Ken Marino's fucking awesome in it. Uh, yeah. So I wonder if they're like if they're into our shit like that. Like, are they like really into our Hill Street Blues, NYPD Blue? A lot of blues in our Blue Bloods. Um, we do a lot of blue in our fucking cop shows, right? They don't do a whole lot of red for their firefighter stuff, right? I don't know how many firefighter shows are there. There was the one with Dennis Leary, Rescue Me. That doesn't say red in it, but anyway, I always wondered that. I should have asked them. I worked with fucking limeys a lot. Well, back in the army, not a whole lot, but there. Anyway, we cross paths every once in a while. I should have asked that question then. So we'll keep moving on. I've already done 15 minutes. Thanks. If you're still here listening, I appreciate you. Smash that like button, comment, subscribe. I know it's so fucking lame and hack to say, but I think if I don't say it, like I think the bots hear that, maybe it helps. I don't know. I'm gonna say it. I like shares more than anything. Makes me feel popular or like, what the fuck is this douchebag talking about? Either way, no such thing as bad publicity. So, go ahead with this. Okay, I don't know if I heard this on another podcast or I don't know, but what kind of house did you grow up in? Did you have plastic wrap, or we call it saran wrap, or were you a foil house? Because I guess that's a thing. Like I didn't know we had both growing up, foil or saran wrap. Saran wrap was used to when you like reheat stuff in the microwave so that your shit didn't fucking, you know, everywhere and get the microwave all dirty. You use saran wrap over your plate, and then, well, I don't know how many years ago my parents got rid of that fucking thing because they heard they the chemicals in the inside. I don't know. They're old, but they're still with us. So love you, mom and dad. And yeah, so I guess it's a thing. And let me know in the comments if you are saran wrap or plastic wrap or a foil house. I think my house was both because both my parents cooked. I wouldn't say they're chefs, but man, you come there on a fucking spaghetti night. I don't want to tell you top rated chefs, but yeah, I mean they're great cooks and they still do it in their 80s. But we always had both, and we had our saran wrap. It was under the sink. It was like this industrial roll, like big kitchen. So you would take it out, like hey, it's the kitchen if you wanted to tear it off. But I didn't know that was a thing because, with my wife and uh, our kids, they, they grew up more foil. So when I came around, uh, when I would buy saran wrap, used to get angry because they didn't know how to tear the plastic wrap from uh, the. It's actually kind of a learned skill because it's not as easy as like foil. You just fucking good to go. Saran wrap's a little bit different because you have to keep it wide when you take it off because it folds in on. So good luck. Get upset. So anyway, saran wrap or foil. I'm more saran wrap. That way you don't fuck up and put something with foil on in the fucking microwave or in your damn house. All right, let's get to everyone's watching. I know we're going to pity time. It is Twitter trending time. I can't believe I'm just now checking my microphone, but I am. Uh, what's going on in sports? Terry. Ooh, Terry McLaurin. I think he just signed back with the Commanders, wide receiver. Scary Terry. Congrats, man. Damn. I had him for like 2 years in fantasy football. Oh, he was always yardage king, but never really kind of panned out with those touchdowns, did he? Okay, moving on. First Amendment to politics. That is okay. We're talking about freedom of speech now again. I know there's things I can't say on YouTube, so I'm not going to say them, but I'm not going to fucking scream. I don't know what's going on, so I'm going to just move on past that. Moving on to number three, Uganda. Uganda. Did I may have worked with Ugandan soldiers. I want to say they were from Uganda. I was in when I was in Iraq. Um, we did have foreign. They were NATO company or NATO countries there with us, and I believe they were Ugandan. They were our guards to our truck yard. So like when convoys would come in, and these are local nationals driving these trucks. So we had to have a camp within a camp to hold these people because you can't just have them walking around everywhere because it's, OPSEC, operational security. Anyway, so we put them in this yard. They would park and then shut the gate because we're doing other stuff. We had, I believe they were Ugandans. And these guys were so much fun to talk to because, what was it? My buddy Hess tells us, like, we were out there talking with them. It was either him, we were both out there, but smoking with these dudes. Uh, and one of them was like, he had to do like 2 or 3 years there. We only did a year. But these guys, he's sitting there talking, and he's like, I'm not gonna do the accent, but just know that I could do it. It was fucking, it's so much better hearing it with it. But he's like, here, he's like, I hate it. And we're like, yeah, we hate it here. Like, no, I hate it here because I don't shoot anyone. Back home, I shoot two, maybe three people a day. Like, Jesus. Is there a, here's another cigarette. We're gonna go here, but that was uh that was pretty funny. That was yeah, we were like, holy shit, okay. And now here you are in Iraq, like in and I'm not gonna say it doesn't come from a war zone. They were doing is Uganda the oh no, that was Rwanda. So maybe these guys were from and because I was getting the two mixed up then too. Anyway, that's enough. That's enough of my shit for today, everyone. Thank you if you've been tuning in. Love you. See you next week.